and the good morning is coming from the heart. So I'll welcome you one and all to another date of a challenging broadcasting, and I dare add, rewarding day of listening to you. It's the first day of March, and March always reminds me of the Ides, which come around the 15th of March. Okay. I'm not alone, so let's meet and greet Tochukwu Ezukama. Tochukwu is a friendly ally. Tochukwu, I greet you. Welcome.
Good morning, Jones, and good morning to our listeners.
Yeah.
Happy New Month in Nigerian parlance.
And also know, Tochukwu, that Ramadan is upon the Islamic world.
Oh, yes.
So I want to say Ramadan Kareem to every Muslim faithful listening to us. And as you hunger and thirst after righteousness' sake, may every wish for self and for country come true.
Amen.
Yeah. Okay, newspaper headliners will be the first offering here, and the papers are here. So let's make to look at stories making the headlines, the front pages. The Daily Post is the first paper on call here. Tochukwu, it leads with Ramadan, moon sighted in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, that's wonderful. So it's time for Ramadan, like you greeted all the Muslim faithfuls earlier. That's really wonderful. It's a time for spiritual revival, time for introspection, time for prayer, and time to draw closer to God and to love your neighbor as much as possible as yourself.
I know that like the Christian good book,
Yes.
the Bible.
Yes.
The Quran will talk about goodness, the Bible says, quoting Christ said, if you love me, keep my commandments. And the commandment is one, love one another, even as I have loved you.
Simple.
I dare say that the Quran would have something close to that. If you
Yes.
love God, keep his commandments.
Keep his commandment.
Yeah.
And you cannot love God without loving man.
Yeah. Because it does not come in any particular order. Tochukwu, if I exude love and lovable things towards you, I'm doing God's work.
Of course. Yeah.
So Ramadan is here, and me, I never chop since morning.
So you're part of the Muslim fasting.
If you like. Okay, other stories on the front page of the Daily Post include this one. Tinubu signs 2025 budget into law.
That's good. I think it's time for it. The problem with Nigeria is not with the budget. The problem is Nigeria is not with the constitutionalism, not with the law,
Yeah.
but effecting the law, enforcing the law, putting all these wonderful things in practice. Who signed the Constitution? Well, let the Constitution be implemented, let it be used for the public good, ultimate good of Nigerians.
Okay, how about this one? Supreme Court declares Rivers local government election invalid, null, void.
As it has happened that we've taken the powers from the electorate to some considerable extent and bestowed on the Supreme Court, because ultimately the electorate calls the shot. But in Nigeria, it's the Supreme Court that determine our elections, who won the election, who should be governor. All the elections right now, most of them end up with the Supreme Court. But that's the way it is.
All right, still talking the law now. Supreme Court, no. Court orders all members of Lagos Assembly to be joined in Obasa's suit.
I'm not a lawyer. Evidently, the lawyers know what they are doing. If that's the right thing, then let them do it.
The 36 lawmakers had gone to court. Recall that Obasa says the way he was removed was not constitutional.
Yes.
And on Thursday, he reportedly went to the State Assembly and only 4 members out of 40 members sat, and he kept shouting, "I'm in charge." In charge of in charge of what?
Well, it might still seem comical. It might be quite unimpressive, his approach. But then Jesse Jackson once said, if you run, you might lose. But if you do not run, you are guaranteed to lose.
Yeah.
So it's good he goes fighting. I mean, give it a fight, give it your best. So in the final analysis, if you lose, at least you have the conviction, the solace that I did my best.
All right, Tochukwu, let me take you quickly to River State in the mind. Wigwe University appoints Honorable Justice Amina Adamo Augie as Pro-Chancellor and Professor Marwan Al-Akaidi as Substantive Vice-Chancellor.
Those are good. Okay, we were the man that died tragically in the US.
In the US, yeah.
Yeah, life continues. So his university moves on. That's wonderful.
Okay. Uncle Sam's country is in the news. You understand why?
Yes.
Zelensky and Trump met. So, hear what the senator is saying. I don't think America will do business with Zelensky again. Lindsey Graham is the senator.
Okay. Well, things are changing with the election of Donald Trump. It was obvious that things have to change. There had to be some kind of seismic shift in American foreign policy, and that's what we are beginning to see. But let me state for the record, I've said this repeatedly, that the Soviet Union has legitimate reasons in the invasion of Ukraine. Ukraine cannot be part of NATO. And just right at the doorstep of the US.
You remember after Perestroika and Glasnost, the old Union of Soviet Socialist Republic, USSR, broke into 15
yes.
independent countries, including Ukraine.
Ukraine, yes.
So if they went, they should exercise self rule. Abi?
Yes, they're independent.
Yeah. And hear this one. You are not winning a war. You are not winning the war. Trump is saying to Zelensky. You remember at the Oval Office, they had a near busty relationship. Vance, how Trump and Vance held back from hitting Zelensky is a miracle. Russia's Zakharova is saying so.
He didn't get that bad. He didn't get to the point that he's been a little dramatic. But that's yeah, they had reasons to argue. You're not winning the war. Ukraine cannot win the war.
Yeah.
There must be some kind of negotiate settlement along the line.
And Zelensky is quoted to have said he does not feel like apologizing to Trump.
He shouldn't, and I'm glad he stood up to Trump. Yeah, it was necessary.
All right, then let's deviate from that. Uproar as Wike lands in Port Harcourt after Supreme Court judgment against Fubara.
That's swing. See, the pendulum has been swinging right and left, pro-Wike, anti-Wike, pro-Fubra, anti-Fubra. We hope that all this hoopla, all this political tumult will come to an end, because in the final analysis, the battle, the political warfare is not for the interest of the masses. It's not for the interest of the state. It's some kind of ego thing. Wike wants to be an emperor in the days that emperors do not exist anymore. Well, let's let it all be sorted out somehow.
Don't you have another story that should tickle your fancy?
Yes.
In the Daily Post. 2027, Peter Obi won't contest presidency on the Labour Party. The party has no future. Valentine Ozigbo. You know,
well,
Ozigbo,
Valentine Ozigbo left the Labour Party for
he
APC.
jumped ship the other day, yeah.
So, He's not the man to speak for P2B or to speak for the Labour Party. So it's just political talk. It's not something that should be taken very seriously.
And Ozigbo goes on to say, I'd like to welcome Peter Obi to APC. Well, dear listener, if you feel a compulsion here, get a copy of the Daily Post. Swat this story. Okay. We'll move now to the Punch. The Punch, the lead story is this Lagos Speaker. Battle shifts to court as Assembly and Obasa face of defies resolution.
Normally, there should be a process of all these things, of impeachment. And they should be followed because if things are done properly, because Obasa's ground is like that he was impeached in bad faith. And secondly, that he didn't follow due process. So why don't they go back to the drawing board and follow due process in impeaching Obasa? But we are over-empowering the judiciary, and the judiciary is repeatedly proving that it's not above board, that it's subject to the temptations of the serene of life. It's been swayed by...
people who know talk about banana peels in politics.
Yes.
But they say there are politicians who have crafted they have a knack for picking the peels before they step.
Before they step and fall.
But in politics, you never can tell about peels somewhere else.
And all of them have their own peels in their own way. So they better be extremely careful because anyone can step on his own peel and fall.
Okay.
But let the court decide.
Controversy as 4 northern governors shut schools for Ramadan.
The whole of Ramadan, the whole period of Ramadan.
Well, that's what the headline's saying. 4 northern governors shut schools.
There'll be no
Ramadan.
schooling for the whole Ramadan month or months. I've never. That's a novelty. We've never.
Yeah, but it's not safe to react to your gut. The senses from the gut. If sort the story, know the details.
Okay.
All right. Real reason I abandoned 16-year-old priesthood to become native doctor. Ex-Catholic priest is saying.
That's an interesting one.
You know, in your state, Anambra, the governor is having a tiff, as they say, TIFF, a tiff with native doctors and all that, traditionalists.
Illegal native doctors. Fake native doctors.
Real ones.
There are legitimate ones.
No.
And he said,
now you
come
go
to
tell
Oka. If you're certified, if you prove you know what you are doing, you're a real one. And since you guys give people power to disappear. If any one of you can disappear out of detention, we recognize you as real.
Okay. Deadly meal. How mischievous drug users lace friends' food with marijuana.
That is, what is that? Just playing pranks?
That's a crazy, a maddening prank. You know, lace friends' food with marijuana.
Is it a trend or just one person did this?
Well, that's why the big idea behind sharing a story like this is you go to the paper.
Okay.
I saw the story, you know. Sorry, but I think it's beyond, it's mischievous, if you ask me.
Extremely mischievous. Yes.
Okay, this one, wife defends Akpabio as Natasha accuses Senate president of sexual harassment.
Wife has no choice.
Did you see this coming?
Well, yeah, she's done that in the past. There's been a number of sexual accusations against the husband, and she repeatedly in the past stood up to defend the husband. She's been a good wife. That's good. I congratulate her for that.
Yeah, but I don't think you will forget Joy Nunez, former MD of the NDDC, who reportedly slapped Akpabio, then minister, over things like this. Okay, UK minister resigns over overseas aid cut.
You overseas it, that's good. It's in such places, politicians are principled. So if you do not agree with the policies of a government, you resign. In Nigeria, we don't resign. We remain there, and nobody questions. People get punished. So that's good. Honorable Minister. Wonderful.
All right. Ramadan begins Saturday, says Sultan.
Yes, today.
That's today, yeah.
Yes. That's good.
Okay. Customs seize cannabis, arrest 2 suspects.
What does customs have to do with cannabis? Customs are concerned with importation. Cannabis are planted around the corner. That's what the police and other local law enforcement agencies.
No, but if the customs have cause to seize a consignment.
It's been exported, or okay.
All
right,
so
okay,
it's,
all right.
It's also doing its job.
Its job, okay.
Okay. Lagos lecturer gets life jail for raping student.
That's excessive punishments and unfair punishment. Rape. Is it what is it?
Tochukwu, I trust you understand the story.
What's the story?
Lagos lecturer gets life jail for raping student.
Raping an adult student? You don't jail somebody for life for rape. It's
If it is in the law, Tochukwu, you cannot change it.
Yeah, but I reserve the right to my opinion. Nobody's changing the law.
No. Your opinion regarding the law?
My opinion regarding the news.
You are entitled to your opinion, Tochukwu, but you are not entitled to your facts. The fact here is distinct.
The fact is distinct, yeah. I'm reacting to the facts. Some laws need to be repealed, some need to be reviewed, some need to be amended.
Here we go again.
And so on and so forth.
Okay. Let's move to the Vanguard now. The Vanguard leads with this Akpabio story. Akpabio wants me to take care of him. Care of him in quotes. Senator Natasha alleges sexual harassment against Senate President. You have your opinion here?
Yeah, my opinion is that the senator made his statements were quite indiscreet, quite unbecoming of a Senate President, the third most powerful man in the country. And but it's what you see in Nigeria. People abuse their power, and I don't know why Nigerian men feel that if you know a woman or come around a woman and do not sleep with her, that you're missing out on something. There has to be this distinction between personal relationship and professional relationship, which we hardly, we don't discern between the two. So the woman should take whatever legal course available to her.
Okay. Other stories in the Vanguard. Why Supreme Court sacked Rivers local government chairman, restored pro-Wiki lawmakers. Okay.
They have been sacking and restoring. I wish these are based on principle, based on ethics, based on the rule of law. But the judiciary has shown us in the past that they can be corrupt and behave like any other Nigerian institution.
How about this from Abia State? EFCC arraigns Abia former governor, the son, and 3 others.
Which former governor?
That's why you must read the paper.
Okay. All right. Yeah, EFCC should do.
You are Anambra, so what do you concern Sokoto and...
I'm a Nigerian too, and Abia is in Nigeria.
Okay, maybe I forgot for one.
That's all good. If they are, let them do their work, arraign them. But in the past, they convict people in the press and then fail to convict them in the court. So if they have their research done, if they have their facts and evidence and can not just arraign but also convict, because the average Nigerian politician is just too corrupt. It's across board, you know. So
Okay.
let them continue with their job.
Okay. ECOWAS court dismisses suit against federal government over Kudirat Abiola's murder.
Legal issue. I'm not a lawyer. No.
Even if you start law today, you can't graduate before
Before,
the end of this month.
not even next year.
Okay. Rivers government vows to integrate peace building in local government areas and drug abuse.
The drug abuse issue is really tearing the country. It's a major problem. You'll be surprised the number of youths that are on drugs. It's destroying it's destroying the fabric of this country. So anything that can be done to reduce the abuse of drug is wonderful.
Take your time from us. 21 minutes past 7 in the city of Lagos on March 1st, 2025. The newspaper headliners. Another story in the Vanguard that should interest you too, Chuku. Atiku to Tinubu and Senate. Investigate Natasha's allegations against Akpabio.
Extremely important. It just cannot be swept under the carpet. Yeah.
The carpet is already full.
Oh, yeah, nothing can enter.
Okay.
Very important. Let them investigate it.
Okay. This story again. I'd like to welcome Peter Obi in APC someday. Valentine Ozigbo.
That's political talk. I shouldn't be taken seriously.
All right. Another newspaper here is Niger News. I have some stories to share. Lagos Assembly lawmakers impeached Obasa without consulting APC GAC leaders. That's what a chieftain is saying.
But do they need to? It should be an internal affairs of the legislature.
Well,
Does the law say they must consult them?
the Babangida story has refused to go away. Why I annulled June 12th presidential election, Ibrahim Babangida?
Well, it's like he has a carte blanche because most of the players of the time are not around. Abacha is not around, so you can heap as much blame as you want on some of those former actors, and they can't. They can't.
My quarrel here, in with a voluminous book, I think
430 pages, yes,
is that no mention was made of the hero, Professor Humphrey Mosu. I'm asking if it is a deliberate omission or designed for effect. And if it is the latter, what effect are we?
It must be a deliberate omission because he played such a central role in the whole, in the process, in the birth of June 12, with his A4 option, and then the courage he had. Yeah, so of course it was deliberate. It couldn't have been.
And of course, there was late Professor Mosu's boss and teacher, Professor Emeawa. He contrived the 7 options. So of the options 1 to 7, number 4, open ballot.
Yes.
Tochukwu in June 12 has made nonsense of the elections we conduct now.
We conduct this days was the most
because it is
transparent.
disputed and so on. That one, you knew the winner from your street.
Yeah, every polling unit, you knew the winner already. Yes, he should have been mentioned. But the thing is that these books and the stories they tell are tendentious. They are designed to serve a given purpose, and in the process, they sometimes massage the fact. sometimes confect stories, sometimes twist facts, sometimes there are pieces of propagandistic exaggeration. So the thing is, he's serving his purpose and with
Okay.
writing the book. So
Well,
he must have deliberately ignored the role played, well, refused to represent the role played by Moose in his
I
book.
have a silent revelation here. I dare say that military president Ibrahim Babangida lost the chance of becoming a hero if he allowed that election to
Oh,
go.
wow, wow.
What a hero
Yes.
he would have become. Okay.
But it was an issue of ethnic chauvinism.
I don't know. But I'm saying he has explained why he annulled the election. The listener would be encouraged to go get a copy of the Niger News and swore the stories. Tuchuku, Saudi Arabia confirms Ramadan to begin March 1st, which is today.
Yes.
So, okay. Tinubu mourns broadcasting icon Anike Agbagije Williams. She's the first female face on TV in this country, and for that matter, first face on TV in this country.
First female face.
First face, and for that matter, female.
Okay, wow.
On October 31st, 1959.
Wow, just before independence.
Oh, yeah. And I know you are angling to know who the first male on TV was. The late Mr. Kunle Olasokbe joined her,
Okay.
But late Mrs. Anike Agbaje Williams was the first female on TV. Yeah. No, WNBS.
Okay, the West.
Western Nigeria Broadcasting Service. And the first female appointed senator in this country.
Appointed?
Yeah, not elected.
Never heard of that. Huh?
And now you have heard.
Okay.
I was telling my wife the other day, you remember that in the Second Republic, there was only one female senator elected, Franca Afegbua. I cannot forget that.
Okay, yeah, well, this is somebody whole country should mourn.
Yeah.
Yes, our hearts go out to their family, to her family. The thing is that we come and go.
Yeah.
And in the final analysis, life and death are in God's hands. So when...
You remember was it Wordsworth Longfellow who said, lives of great men and women remind us that we can make our lives sublime and on departing leave footprints on the sands of time.
The sound of time, yes. She did. First on TV, first female.
She was 88.
First appointed senator. I didn't know any senator was ever appointed.
She was appointed senator, the first female in the country. All right, let's try the Nation newspaper next. And the lead story is Supreme Court judgment. Jubilant Wike storms rivers. Mubarak camp somber.
Naturally, somebody must win for somebody to. Somebody must lose.
There's a
for
picture
somebody
story there showing Wike and the others. Yeah. Okay. That story I shared earlier on with you. EFCC arraigns ex-Abia governor, son, 3 others for alleged 60.85 billion naira fraud.
Wow, as in a state where there's a state that is poor, 60 billion. Wow, these guys are heartless.
Remember the current governor, Governor Oti, said the outgone governor talked about an airport, so he's busy looking for the airport. I don't know if he has found it.
Wants to build an airport.
Oti said his predecessor talked about an airport in Abia.
Okay, yeah.
He's busy looking for the airport.
The airport is non-existent. It was only on paper.
Okay, okay. NAFDAC blacklists India-based pharmaceutical company. Of course, you must know why. Substandard drugs and all that.
Substandard, fake drugs, yes, NAFDAC. Dora Akunyili did an outstanding job with NAFDAC. She said
All right. The question you asked earlier on about Ramadan and some schools closed
Yes.
seems to be getting clearer. Ramadan, Ramadan fast. Bauchi orders 5-week shutdown of all schools.
That should be against the law. I mean, Ramadan, I mean, go school for 5 weeks because of
But a
Ramadan.
governor is the chief law officer of a state.
Yeah, but he's subject to the constitution. And
If the
children should be in school. It's against the law for children to be out of school. So it should be
Tochukwu,
looked into.
but please reconcile what you're saying here with the fact that, by the way, it's 7:30 for your time check. Reconcile what you've just said with the fact that your child goes to school hungry in the morning and cannot and will not eat until evening. Does that
That's
make
the fasting.
does that ring a bell with you?
Well, that's the fasting. Your child is fasting for 5 weeks. So that's the Ramadan. The Ramadan means you fast. But to close the schools for 5 weeks.
Okay, court to rule on Jude Okoye's bail in 1.36 billion naira case on March 3rd. That's on Monday.
Tomorrow, yeah, 2 days' time.
You know, Okoye, the acting accountant general of the country. The case has been on for a while now.
It's the job of the court. Let them rule. Convict, said guilty or not. Well, accused. What's how do they rule it? Convicted or acquitted, whatever. That's their job.
Okay. Council election. APC more focus to win entire FCT, according to the minister. You know, there are six councils in the FCT.
Yeah, if the elections are fair and free and credible, let whoever win. But if it's all about rigging, then we have reasons to lament for this country. So whoever wins legitimately, that's wonderful. We congratulate APC, PDP, whatever.
How former PDP chairman hails affirmation of Odefa's expulsion. Don't ask me who he is. Get a copy of The Nation. Get the story. And all right. El Rufai is explaining why he didn't attend the APC National Caucus meeting. Don't forget, El Rufai, former Governor El Rufai, and the APC has been having a tiff for some time now.
He seems embittered. I think he had some expectations from the Tinubu administration, and his hopes, his expectations were not met.
Well,
That's the aura about him.
He had asserted that President Tinubu and not the National Assembly was instrumental to his rejection as a minister.
But why must he be a minister? Can't he be rejected? I mean, these guys talk as though they own Nigeria. It's the job of the federal legislature to what do they call them? Reject or accept a minister. And if they choose to reject him, he should go and sit down. There's nothing. They did their job. Period.
All right, Tochukwu, the next paper is The Guardian here. The Guardian leads with Wike speaks on Supreme Court judgment in Rivers. We shared it earlier.
Yeah, he has reasons to gloat. He has reasons to rejoice and be happy. But let him consider the people of Rivers State in this his craze for power. In this his craze to stay in Abuja and remote control a governor in Port Harcourt. It's just Machiavellian. It's just wrong.
All right. Alleged sexual harassment. Akpabio's wife threatens to sue Senator Natasha.
Courts don't they see wahala these days? You sue the husband, the wife go sue you. And let them go ahead. Lawyers have to make money suing and counter suing. Sue her for accusing your husband. Well, let her sue.
Meanwhile, is Senator Kingibe slams Natasha for accusing Akpabio of sexual harassment.
Why?
Senator Kingibe na woman.
Yes. She has alleged, let it be proven in a court of law, but she reserves the right to make her case. Because she was talking about a private discussion with Akpabio. Nobody was there. So Senator Kingibe wasn't there. So that you just cannot dismiss her allegations like that. Let it go through the court process and let the court decide.
Okay. Hear this. Sounds like an opinion piece. The real story of IBB's regime, what history won't forget. That's in The Guardian today.
Okay, what history won't forget? History will not forget a number of things about Akpabio. Well, one is the annulment of June 12 election, the supposedly most credible election in the history of, not supposedly, it was just the most credible election.
I lived through it.
Election in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Secondly, history will not forget that the moral and ethical standards in Nigeria declined and almost collapsed under President Babangida, because it was laissez-faire, do your own thing, have fun, make money, just do not challenge my power. Then I have nothing to bother. That's when we started having 419, selling of body parts and all kinds of crazy things. Nigeria became the scam capital of the world. So there are a number of things we'll remember him for, and many of them are not very positive.
Okay, Tochukwu, your state is in the news. Anambra approves new projects to combat flooding and beautify Oka.
That's good. Our capital needs beautification. Interestingly, the property value in Asaba is very high. The Enugu, even some civil servants still live at Enugu and come to work at Oka. So Oka needs a facelift, it needs development, it needs beautification. So that's good.
I used to hear Anambra is the erosion capital of the world.
I think it's still like that. I don't think it's been combated effectively and totally. It's still like that, to a considerable extent.
Yeah, the EFCC arrests 19 suspected internet fraudsters in Benin.
Internet fraudsters.
It's an ongoing thing.
But internet fraudsters are small fish or fishes. Why don't they go after the big fish, those that defraud the federal government, steal people's money in the tone of millions and billions?
We are talking about fraudsters here.
Oh yeah, who are they defrauding? And 419. The most victims of 419 are people who want to reap where they did not sow. But okay, they are doing their job. Let them continue.
Okay then.
Kudos to them.
All right. More stories in The Guardian. Lagos clamps down on illegal dredging. Arrest operators.
Legal dredging, of course.
Illegal dredging.
Yeah, that should be that is called. Yeah, that they should, of course. Why would people dredge illegally? The effect of dredging can be massive, so you better check them. Good work.
All right. I have this one. Stay in Gaza, Israeli foreign minister says.
He's lying. Israel wants to seize the land from Palestinians if they have the opportunity. But there can be no peace in the Middle East until the Israel withdraws from occupied Palestinian land as stipulated by UN Resolution 242. Israel should leave the Palestinians alone. There should be a two-state solution to the problem. The Jews came from wherever they were for centuries and returned in 1948 and took part of the Palestinian land.
But you recall that Israel is the only country on the planet that was given a homeland by resolution.
Yeah, in 1948. So you're given a homeland. Leave the part that was left for the Arabs for the Arabs. Why you keep encroaching on it, capturing it, seizing it? So move back to the land that was given to you in 1948, and there'll be peace in the place. Period.
Okay, Tochuku, let's move to another newspaper now. The other newspaper is the Daily Trust. Sultan announces sighting of moon. So Ramadan begins Saturday, that is today.
Yes.
So Ramadan Kareem one more time. Supreme Court stops rivers allocations, recognizes pro-Wike assembly.
Been going up and down. Let's see how it all finally plays.
Anti-graft agency arrests local government chairman. Local government chairman.
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 Oh, okay. Oh. That's not news in Nigeria. The average politician is culpable, most of them culpable of corruption. So the anti-graft agencies are doing their job, though there's so much corruption within their own ranks too. So that's our Nigeria.
Okay. Another story from the Daily Trust is this one. It comes direct. Akpabio punishing me because I refused to sleep with him, Senator Natasha.
Okay. This one is point blank. No embellishment. Okay. That's fine. Yeah, she said it.
Who feels it knows it.
Yeah, she said it before. Let her prove her case.
Okay. Speakership crisis. I have been Tinubu's disciple since I left secondary school, Obasa.
Well, quite a long time. Well, must you be Tinubu's disciple to remain the speaker, or does that qualify your bulldozing your way back into the office of the speaker?
Tochuku, my contention is this. Even in wrestling at the village level, there are rules.
There are rules.
So what about wrestling in the township?
There should be rules.
Okay.
And that is his argument. The rules were not followed in my impeachment.
Okay. Band B customers not paying enough for electricity, according to minister.
Band A are paying, even overpaying. Band B, band C.
Which is your band?
I mean band A.
Okay, welcome.
And the supply of light is quite impressive. You forget how to turn on the generator because you get steady supply of if you will all make the power generation and distribution efficient, I don't think Nigerians mind paying a little more for more steady supply of electricity. So let them get it right. Let the system, let us have steady supply of power across board, across the country.
All right. Okay. Another story here. Fubara accuses INEC of failing to enforce defection law.
Is it for INEC to enforce? Who enforces such a law?
Yeah, if there's a law and INEC is governed by the law, it should follow the law.
But people defect after they've been elected to office. That's still the purview of INEC.
Sometimes explanation is key here, Definition is who explains the law, who determines who is keeping the law, who is not. Okay. Um. Okay. Oh dear. Oh dear. Some more stories here. Balalau commissions 3,000 capacity Jumat mosque built by Bichi Rep.
Yeah, we keep building
3,000
churches.
capacity mosque.
3,000.
That must be a big
That's big,
edifice. Yeah.
Yeah, we keep building mosques, keep building churches, but to what extent it translates into our spirituality or our becoming better human beings as demanded, as dictated by the Bible and the Quran is another question altogether. But there's nothing wrong with commissioning of mosques. That's all
All right, Tochuku.
wonderful. It's a very religious country.
Okay. That's what they tell me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Time.
spiritually and morally bankrupt.
Time to switch the microphone to the listener. If you feel up to reacting to a story or stories we shared, do so now. And the number is 0803 692 9999. We'll wait to activate the first call. The first call is here. Hello, good morning to you. Good morning. Okay. We lost that. But please, the line is free now. 0803 692 9933. Which story or stories caught your fancy? How would you want to react to them or to it? Let's get your calls now. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Welcome.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Welcome.
good morning. Good morning, sir.
Welcome.
Good morning. It's Ben from Eva.
All right, go on.
All right. I feel listen, Fabio's wife should go and fight the side chicks. You should go and fight the side chicks and expose. I know that in her heart she's happy. This is the type of battle women like. You just want to come off life. She's happy. Now that should blacklist all the pharmaceuticals from India. India is one of the most corrupt countries. 95% of all these states are from India. They should plastic. They don't love us. They should plastic them. Switch over to Germany. Go and enter into agreement with German pharmaceutical company. German doesn't produce fake. India can produce fake and export it and send it to African countries. So they should blacklist all of them and make it a must that if you do not import from Germany, it will not be allowed in our country.
Okay, 60
because
seconds.
German product is very expensive and it is original. God bless you, sir.
Bless you too. Okay, how do you yourself react to the first caller has reacted to two stories, Tochuku? The line is free now. So I'd say good morning to you. Welcome.
Hello, good morning to you.
I greet you. Welcome.
Citizen Jones, and good morning to my man there.
Welcome.
My name is Peter Omonse from Shomolu.
All right.
I want to say that in this situation between Natasha and Akpabio, I think the right thing to be done is for Akpabio and Natasha to step aside. Let an independent investigation panel be raised to let this issue to rest. Because for me, I know the former president of America had a problem with Monica Lewinsky, and they resolved it. So this could be resolved. Akpabio did not remember what our proverbs say, that where you put oil, you don't throw stone into it. Natasha is like oil, where Akpabio is. Akpabio was not supposed to throw stone into it. He should have used wisdom for that seat reallocation. The law permits you to do that, but use wisdom to do it so that you don't cause this. I think that is the way I'm looking at it. All Nigerians should be on band A, or all should be in band B, or all should be in band. We had that before. Nigerian satellite. Don't give some and don't give others. It's not right. That segregation, I don't approve of it. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you too. Yeah. So take advantage. The line is free now. Let's go there. 0803 692-9933. What story or stories caught your fancy? How would you want to react to it or to them? Hello, good morning.
Yeah. Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Go on.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Alaba is my name.
Alaba, go
from
on.
in Lagos.
Okay.
Oga Toshukwu, I salute you, sir. I want to say something about what is happening in Lagos State. I think the leadership of APC in Lagos State should not forget that APC is one of the states that people are copying from. The way the system is going on, they should not make the party to not be where people will not be okay. See, the state that we are copying from, they are not settled. So the leadership should meet again and look for means how the what is going on, the rumbles, the political rumbles that is going on will come to rest. I won't say that the issue of River State is so painful that your man is not in the studio this morning. I mean, what is his name? This guy from River State. I will have, I told him the other day that the way the matter is going, I don't see Fubara winning this war. Wike has make his homework very well.
Thank you.
Listening to wrong people advice. So what he needs to do is I should go back to Wike and apologize to him through.
All right, we got you first time. Okay, what do you yourself say? We can take in 2-3 calls. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. I welcome you.
UK Martins calling.
Okay, go on.
The system Nigeria is practicing is designed to fail. There's impunity in this country, pure impunity. From local government to this federal government, impunity. Laws have been abandoned. Rules have been trampled upon. And the public of Nigeria seem to be trapped, don't know what to do. The elder that ought to speak the truth are keeping quiet. The youth are taking things according to their likeness. What's happening in River State is so unfortunate. We celebrate evil. We clap for evil. From religious to tradition, from elders, celebrating evil in every nook and cranny of Nigeria. Nigeria is going nowhere. No matter the lip service, no matter whether the professor is speaking or prophet is speaking, we must learn to condemn evil.
60 seconds
Call evil evil.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
What's wrong is wrong. What's right is right.
Yeah.
That's what the caller is saying. Yeah. 0803-692-9933. Hello. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Citizen Jones.
I greet you, sir.
My name is Lambert Okal. I'm calling from Orile.
All right then.
I greet you and your analysts.
Good morning.
Yes, there are so many things to pick on, but let me go this way. In the Senate climb, Akpabio should be out of office by now because every now and then his name cross off for the wrong reasons. 2, in Lagos State, what is so special about impeaching Obasa? 3, Ozibo commenting on P2B. He has no right to do that. We shouldn't take him serious. 4, on governors shutting schools. Yes, Nigeria is too religious, but there is no God in so many of them. By the time they leave office, you should have seen how they will drive their states up financially. But in terms of religion, they can shut school, not minding words.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. One last call, if we take it now. Let the call come. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Put off your radio. So we clear the noise.
I think I've done that.
Yeah, let's go.
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Welcome.
All right. My name is Afam. I'm calling from Regent. All right. I want to comment on the things, the news you said concerning resigning, our the brother that was there said something that it is in this country that somebody don't resign, and that is the fact. In this country that we are in Nigeria, you can never see someone, despite how wrong or bad things may be going, even through the effect of that person or through the position of that person, and you will see that person said, okay, no, I cannot continue with this. I want to resign. It has never happened in this country. Instead, they will continue pushing that wrong thing until it circulates and
Thank you.
spoil
60
more
seconds
things.
are up.
I don't
Thank
know
you.
why
Thank
we
you.
have such a mentality. Does it mean that
Thank you. 60
politics-
seconds are up. Yeah. Don't you accept that I can recall that late President Shagari's first Inspector General of Police,
Yes.
Adamu Suleiman, resigned. And that gave way to the very popular police IG that succeeded him. The Ogbomosho man.
Okay.
So, all right, we are done. The papers are in. Go out there, get a copy of your favorite paper, and so you don't react on your guts. You don't rely on your guts. Okay. Swat the stories, get the gist. Thank you very much, Tochuku. Thank you.
You're welcomed.
Our next program is 5 minutes away. Please stick around.
From the views on the street
We go to bed empty hunger.
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and pressure for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents,
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
All right, folks, welcome one more time. Let's step into the second leg of our offering this morning. Citizen Jones this morning, as it were, you're familiar with the fare. We interrogate any issue that gets thrown up in my country, your country, just so you know. Today, by the way, is March 1st. Don't forget the Ides of March. Tochukwu and Akin will remember from Shakespeare's Julius Caesar, the Ides of March.
Yes, the Ides of March. Yeah.
Always on March 15. But this is March 1st. So let's take on Lagos State Assembly speakership quandary. APC bigwigs to the rescue. But have they come to the rescue? You know, in a constitutional democracy, such as we practice in this jurisdiction, citizenship listings are defined and are therefore absolute. The Speaker of the Assembly is the number 3 man, number 3 citizen, and a potential number 1 citizen or chief executive in an extreme case. A state governor owes his or her being to the House, which has the powers to kick or impeach him or her. The speakership of the Lagos Assembly is a big deal after all. So when on January 13, 2025, former Speaker Mudashiru Obasa was impeached by 36 of the 40 members in the House, we envisaged a round of political acrobatics. The embattled Obasa was away in the US at the time. He came back and dug in. First, he faulted his removal, insisting he was the bona fide speaker as he was wrongfully removed. He has gone to court, although he has denied this. He says he never went to court. So I don't know who is saying what. And therefore, big wigs of the APC were supposed to have waded in and steer a middle course in an effort to arrest the situation. So with former governors of Osun, Ogun, and Lagos in the presence of Chief Bisi Akonde, Segun Oshoba, and Akinwumi Ambode jumping into the fray, a lessening of tension was expected. As a matter of fact, speculation is rife that both Mudashiru Obasa and Mojisola Miranda may be asked to step aside for another lawmaker to take over. The scales favor a candidate from Lagos West to take over. Let's have a robust conversation. And of course, please recall that the security aids, the police aids attached to Speaker Miranda were withdrawn, but then the Commissioner of Police says they have been returned. On Thursday, just 2 days ago, former Speaker Obasa seemingly presided over a Lagos assembly with 4 members, and we are wondering what the exercise meant. So let's meet and greet my conversationalists. They are gentlemen you know. They live and work in Lagos. Aki Fatunke here is a chartered accountant and a national affairs commentator. Aki, good morning to you.
I'd like to say good morning, Citizen Jones. Good morning, my fellow conversationalists that you are going to introduce now. And I'd like to say good morning to Nigerians. Always a pleasure to be with you.
Tochukwu is a town planner and a biographer, and for that matter, an activist. Welcome, Tochukwu.
Good morning, Citizen Jones. Good morning to Akim Fatunke. And then to our listeners, good morning, everyone.
Yeah, speakership tango in Lagos State.
Well, things like this are not new in Nigerian politics. I don't know why we don't have...
But by the way, have you heard that between 1999 and today, no less than 29 or so speakers have been kicked?
Impeached. Sometimes for the wrong reasons, sometimes for the flimsiest reasons, sometimes for
the right reasons.
For the right, well, once in a while.
So it depends on who determines it is right or wrong?
Yeah, because it's too subjective. Yeah, who is right and who is wrong. So what is happening in Lagos State is not new. We're even surprised, or people should be surprised. We've not had many cases like this in Lagos State. But the speaker has grounds, Mr. Obasai.
No. Former speaker.
Former speaker. Okay. Oh, wow. Correction. Okay. The former speaker has grounds for objecting to the impeachment. He said it was not done in accordance with the law. Due process was not followed. And that should be looked into. It shouldn't be just ignored. So it should be investigated and things should be done properly. This court and Nelam that suffused Nigerian way of doing things.
What do you call this? It is a 40-member house.
Yes.
36 members on January 13 voted to oust the former speaker.
Okay.
So what could be wrong about that?
I don't know, but the man is saying that it was not done properly. And we cannot just ignore it.
That he should have been there.
Maybe that's a factor. Yeah, he should have been there. It was done in absence.
Just like you, I'm not a lawyer.
I am not a lawyer. I'm not a legislator. I'll be just my man on the
You are a
street.
commentator.
Okay, my commentator. That wasn't a big title promotion for me. Okay, so it should be looked into. And I have a problem with Lagos State. My problem with Lagos State is Baba Esobe approach to things in Lagos. Things are already predetermined, usually predetermined by one man or one family. And if you do not readily toe that line, you get into trouble.
Tochukwu, before now, I told you at the village level, when a wrestling contest was on, there were laws.
Yes.
So if you came to the city center and there's a wrestling contest, there must be laws.
Yeah, the laws are...
In politics, Tochukwu, you have heard of banana peels.
Yes.
But I hear many politicians have a way of picking up the peels.
Yes.
Mr. Fatunke, I know you are waiting patiently. Just to remind Tochukwu that the first so-called Antichrist, Napoleon Bonaparte, said, in politics, when your enemy is making a mistake, don't interrupt him.
No, let him continue. I want to make a point. You talk about laws in everything we do, laws in village wrestling, laws.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but the laws must not be to reinforce or to serve the interest of one man. The laws should be for the public good. The laws should cut across. When the laws become selective, when the laws is to serve interest and to undermine other interests, then it ceases to be the law and becomes an oppressive mechanism for oppressing the weak and the poor. So whatever law we have in Lagos that guide these things must be laws that respect the rule of law, laws that respect the Constitution, laws that are for the public good, not to strengthen one man and his personal and family interests.
Which man are we talking about here?
I have mentioned no name.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Citizen Jones. And may I quickly start my intervention by mentioning names. And the name that I mentioned here is the name of the President and Commander-in-Chief of Nigerian Armed Forces presently under this dispensation. I speak about the Jagaban himself, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I will come back to that in an instant. Tochukwu has laid the table, except part of the table, in my opinion, is not as covered as other areas, so it makes it a bit of a disjoint. Yes, it is not a new thing in our politics that we practice to impeach and unimpeach. Step on banana peels, I don't like it, I don't like your face, and all that. All right, through 1999, if you take that as a yardstick. But I think it is new in Lagos. I think it is really new in Lagos to the extent that
kicking the number 3 man.
Yes, the way it's been done, and I think we've witnessed a show of shame. I also think we've witnessed a show of the Baba Sokwe allegedly. We also have a governor in Lagos State who is supposed to be the leader of the party. Okay, I will even use allegedly. I don't know if we really have true leaders at those levels. The second point I will raise, which I think my dear erudite friend Techuku also mentioned, is the fact that allegedly Honorable Munda Ashir Obasa was removed not according to the rules of the game. I didn't quite understand it as such. The rule of the game, as I understood it, is the rule book of the House, which indicated that you can be removed as Speaker by the vast majority. In this wise, the entire members of the House, shy 4 or 3, depending on what numbers are being touted, on the fact that we just don't want you anymore. We feel you are high-handed. We feel that you don't command our respect anymore. We feel that we've spoken to you directly or indirectly, even maybe shyly, and you have continued to ride roughshod. We just feel you're not going to be able to continue our collective interest. So with that, even if you have not stolen, we just don't feel that we command respect. I know that's somehow draconian, but that is it, and I think that's what happened.
All right.
1B, also, maybe to align with Tochukwu, so do you shave a man's head behind him? Should he not be at a plenary? And what have you? Allegedly, the social media is not your friend. When it comes to, you suddenly found yourself in Atlanta, somewhere, allegedly living opulently in a house, 2-3 days, 4-5 days before that time, you showed so much disrespect to the governor of the state. The latest being the fact that you stood them up, very disrespectful. And the leader of this, of the country, was told that things are just not moving on fine. And this same leader felt things should not work out in that way. Now you went out there and then you are removed. Why I said I'm going to talk about the leader of the country, leader of the party, central, the senator, retired senator now, the Jagaban Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is that it's only a Nero who decides that he wants his house burnt, that he will continue to smoke pipe while that rope burns. For me, everything lies tangentially, squarely on the table of this president who has allowed this to happen. I can see the fact that, constitutionally, his role is somehow limited, but it's only, I'm afraid, I want to be very civil.
Okay.
A very foolish
17
man.
minutes, 17 minutes past 8, 17 past 8.
It's only a very foolish man that will allow his house and say, well, we have division of labor, and then your house will be burning, and then you keep quiet, and then the whole thing will want to come crashing down on account of politics.
Okay.
I think it's most unfortunate.
Gentlemen, we all know politics. It was Otto von Bismarck, the first chancellor of Germany, who said politics is not an exact science. But Tochukwu and Akin, political theorists and political scientists are telling us politics is a behavioral science.
Yes.
And it has rules. Please, might I talk about the 48 laws of power penned by Robert Greene? Law number 1, if you Google, it says, do not outshine the master. That's number 1. Law number 3, do not raise your hand too soon. Law number 5, reputation is key. Defend it with your life, and so on and so on.
Laws number 1 and number 3 clearly was flouted by Mudashir Obasa. Law number 1.
I don't know if Tochukwu is following the drift.
But
Law number 1
context,
was the fact that he washed his mouth a bit too early. Law number 3 to say that he was better than most to continue to govern Lagos, and it was perhaps going to be his turn. And then he did it with so much disrespect. Last year, now meaning 2024, I have also learned that the Christmas or year-end get-together that they normally do, Mudashir Obasa came late. Okay, well, anybody can come late, but and the way and manner that he went about it, he now, so he came late, and the way he was carrying himself as maybe he was larger than life, and he now also poked his hands into the leader's face to say, look, for over, well, he's been the speaker for 10 years, and by his admission, he has been with the Jagaban all this while and became so unruly. So you can take it from the behavioral science definition of politics that he was following the master to a vomit, which I think is most unfortunate. In all of this, I have not spoken about a gentle lady. Maybe she's a bit too gentle for politics. But again,
Mojisola Miranda.
I want to talk about Madam Lightbad Mojisola Miranda, the 44-year-old representative from Apapa, who are, well, the House has said, look, come, go ahead and roll
but she was named the replacement because she was, by definition, the deputy speaker.
Well,
yes.
No, you could have been deputy speaker. We could have said yes.
No. She, as deputy speaker, you are number 4 at the state level.
And they can
number
impeach
2 in the legislature.
They can impeach the two of you. I've seen that happen.
But
my point is maybe that would have been a weak point. They felt one. I look at it from the fact that, hey, for the very first time, perhaps we are going to have a woman to lead us. Secondly, it's high time. Thirdly, an indigene, daughter, what you call son of the soil.
Bona fide daughter of the soil, all right?
We think you should be able to do that. In any case, you should have learnt the ropes, like you say here. You are second in command. By the way, Miranda, when you translate it to English from Latin, means admirable, and she has carried herself admirably so far. People said, and I was going to be somehow harsh on her, you will not try this kind of thing in Port Harcourt, in River State. You will not try this kind of thing, and the whole place will have come.
Or in Tochukwu's Anambra.
And the whole place will have come crashing down. So she was gentle enough and said, no, she beat her time, and she took it along her stride. I have strong belief, Citizen Jones Tochukwu and our dear listeners, that if I look into my crystal ball, I see a bright future for this lady. Even if she's forced or made to resign, just for peace to reign, I foresee a situation where she has decided to stoop and she's going to conquer. But I don't think at the end of the day, the politics that is being conjured by the Jagaban himself, looking at numbers, is dissipating his energy, is dissipating the energy of Lagosians, and is dissipating the voice of Lagosians. People are already fed up.
Who's dissipating?
I am talking about the Jagaban himself.
Oh, okay.
By his action and inaction. Well, some people will come and say to me that, he's the grandmaster of the game. I don't have any doubt about he being grandmaster, but he needed to have acted, like I said, day before yesterday. He didn't act yesterday. I am not sure he's acting today. If he decides to act decisively, I repeat, decisively, truly, fairly, and put Mudashir Obasa in good check, then we might be talking about him now regaining glory. But right now, it's not smelling like
the
rose.
problem is the one-man game. You're talking about Lagos State as though it belongs to a man. If he is dissipated,
He cannot own Lagos. He cannot.
So the point I am making,
be deceiving oneself.
The point I am making, rule number one, you should not outshine the master. Who is the master in this case? Obasa is the master of the house, the master of the legislator. So who was he outshining?
Wait. Who is the master?
The governor is an executive, another arm.
The governor is the number one citizen. Hold on, Tochukwu is the captain of the ship. So if you are a crew member, you defer to the captain.
There are three arms of government. And in one arm, a man is in charge. In another arm, another man is in charge. Yes.
And how did it? The Bible talked about before Abraham was I am.
Yes.
Before these arms came to be,
a man was.
Did you not?
Therefore, they must all be slaves to one man. No, always be.
Tochukwu,
that's not what I'm saying.
Aki, just a minute. In the United States of America,
yes,
Trump is the president
but
number one. Hold on. Vance, J.D. Vance is the vice.
Yes.
And the vice president in America is the Senate president.
Yes.
So in the House, at the Capitol, the speaker is a big man.
Yes.
So you don't...
Nancy Pelosi on my mind.
The speaker does not always defer to the president. That's why sometimes they refuse to agree. Sometimes there's no funding for the federal government because the speaker is in charge of an arm of the government.
And that is what the House.
So for here is that one man must be worshipped. You don't outshine.
Nobody is talking about somebody being worshipped. No. That's
Obasa's,
your creation. Tochukwu, that's your creation here.
The issue started when he started speaking out against family plans or family connection.
No, that's not the beginning.
No. Well,
it is also
compounded his problems.
It's also alleged that he had not ruled, favorably, and that he went about it like an emperor, and that there are allegations, which he needed to answer to with EFCC, and that this master,
almost every politician has issues.
This master
with
that you are talking about, perhaps has been shielding him for too long until he now decided to go to the second round, which we are talking about, poking his hand against the law number one of Graham Greene. He poked his hand.
The master shielded him up to a point where he started saying that I am qualified to be governor.
The point is discretion, they say, right?
Is the better part of valor.
It is valor itself, because without it, then you become very unwise. And then also says...
In politics, you must be discreet. You can't go into, for instance, the Anambra State Assembly, and because you read political science, everybody there in that house is a scientist.
Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely.
The fear of losing power corrupts much more. Absolutely.
We are now saying, you and I are on the same page. And I am now saying to you, Tochukwu, that even without necessarily conceding, let me even agree. Okay, you have not allowed the house to operate the way they should operate. Don't you have a power of saying, stop? don't do this anymore. I'm not serious. That's
Because
the point I'm making.
You are the captain of the ship.
So if you have not done that, then you are failing in your negative power. There is positive and negative power. In the whole of the politics that we are playing, where is it that you are going to tell me that we have absolute division of labor? All subnational governors,
no absolute
all
division.
of them are, in fact, all of them are in full control. They decide who is going to be what, where, and whom, and all that. And I also
the
when,
problem is
when,
the worship
when you decide,
back in Lagos
when
State.
you decide, I don't know about worship. I don't know about worship.
It can be an issue of semantics. We can play with words all we want.
It's the way you have elected to react to this. There's no hero worship here. We are talking about this.
There's hero worshiping in Lagos. Baba Esobe. Baba has said it.
Yeah,
and it must be that way. That was all Obasa challenged, and that's why he's in trouble.
Tochukwu, hold on. In this speakership wahala, who is the Baba Sokwein? Who is the Baba in your estimation?
Akin made a point.
No. Answer, who is this? But because I'm sure the script is before you. You wrote it.
I don't answer yes and no questions. That's for primary school students.
So don't make primary.
You want to sit on the fence now?
Don't make primary allusions there, please.
Akin said it, that he's had problem in the past, but the Baba shielded him all along. Why did the Baba fall? Why did Baba stop shielding him?
Because
he started questioning Baba's design for 2027.
He refused to learn from the...
so he started showing interest.
Rule 1.
Having a grassroots arrangement for 2007. Whereas the Baba has his own plans for 2007. His plans clash with Baba's plans for 2007, and that's why he's in trouble.
Tochukwu, as an astute politician, he claims, the former speaker claims, he's an astute politician. Shouldn't he know when to apply the brakes? Should he not?
Know when to apply the brake in the worship of one man that owns the state. He refused to.
You are writing this script. I don't know where you got that from.
That's my script. I reserve the right to write my script.
But don't impose your script on me.
I'm not imposing. I'm not imposing on you. I'm only speaking for myself. So it's time we shake off.
In other words,
every man is entitled to his opinion, but every man is not, underline not, entitled to his own facts.
Yeah, we form our opinions based on these facts. Based on the facts before me, I am forming my opinion.
Wait, let me update you. The House made to kick the former speaker because one, they accused him of financial impropriety, high-handedness, not keeping to the rules of the game. Okay. And of course, you talk about his ambition for 2027.
Yes.
That's
what got him to trouble. His ambition for 2027.
It is one of them.
Financial impropriety.
Please. It's not out-talking me that the expressing the desire to be number one in 2027 is not the... Don't isolate it.
Okay. Financial impropriety. If you go across Nigeria and start scrutinizing the governors, 95% of them will be allegedly... You have allegations against them for financial dishonesty or impropriety. Okay? Tough-handedness... that those are subject to definition. It was Margaret Thatcher who once said...
The people you preside over say they don't want you, and they passed a vote of no confidence in you.
We know that.
And you are trying to enter that same house through the window and all that, thereby bringing in...
We know that
the Alibaba and the fugitives then of hand into disrepute, and by implication affecting all of us who are residing in Lagos, people who voted for that party and people who didn't vote for that party. We are making this analysis on strength of the fact that, in my opinion, Mudashir Obasa has decided, even if he had the backing of this master, he has decided to fall Yakata in public space. He's lost the sympathy of well-thinking Nigerians, albeit people who will say, look, the dog wagging the tail or the day wagging the talk, yeah, this is happening now. Now this is a nice time to go and start to to fix the grandmaster, the Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Please, point is, if things continue the way they are going, and I've just said it openly here, that for the very first time, I feel so ashamed
because he
that
tried to go back in. What's his offense this time?
illegally, he's been asked to step aside, and then when he came back, trying to creep like some kind of lizard into a crevice, and then said he was going to convey a plenary of 4 people. Where is that done? Where is that done?
Is that also politics?
It was done in Rivers State when.
Tochukwu, let's talk about Lagos on Thursday. Tochukwu, please.
Governors Forum.
Tochukwu, please, here.
When I think it was.
Tochukwu, don't think too much. We are talking about Lagos on Thursday. This 2 days back.
It was done in Rivers State.
And he broke into the speaker's office.
2 days,
that is brigade.
2 days ago, he went into the assembly, a hallowed chamber they call it, and had 4 of his loyalists in the chambers out of a 40-member chamber. And you say
that was just fighting dirty.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that no? Tell me that is politics.
That's bad politics, but
his
removal was also
so
bad politics.
Whatever is bad cannot be good.
Politics
in politics,
versus
two
bad
wrongs,
politics.
Two wrongs will make a right.
It is the same problem of the state, and different people have fallen victim to it in different ways. Some will quietly go away, some will choose to fight back. But the fundamental issue is that Lagos State is tied to the apron strings of one man. He controls it. He twists it around at will. Put in governors, remove governors, handle governors as houseboys. And that's where the issue is. Obasa may have been refused to be handled as a houseboy. And that's the consequences of his refusal.
Did you hear him?
Please.
He said when he came back, he said, look, as far as I'm concerned, I am Tinubu's boy. I will always continue to be loyal to him. Whether I am removed fairly or unfairly, I will always continue to be loyal to him. Did you hear that?
And the loyalty is crashing into the
Tochukwu has told us, he keeps referring us to Rivers State. Wike left Rivers State as the immediate past governor, but he has a hold there. So if you have this Baba Sokwe leaving Lagos, you think he will not have a hold here? If you were governor of your state and you left, would you not have a base?
And in relative terms, you have the kind of developmental developmental thing that we have in
you are not saying
some politicians might choose to accept.
You are not talking about.
Just like Fubra is rejecting Wike's grip. Some politicians in Lagos can accept it, and some can refuse. So the thing is that Obasa started speaking out.
Let me involve
in challenge.
Obasa has not rejected. He has not rejected the master. Obasa,
let me invite the listener. If you want to be part of this, why not? 0803 692 9933. Let's get you talking. Hello. Good morning to you.
Morning, CCC.
I greet you, sir.
This is Charles from Festa.
Yeah, Charles, go on.
So, I don't understand what you mean by his removal was not proper.
That's what he said. I'm not saying that.
That's what he said, and he's applied the case to the court.
Yeah.
So, he should wait for the court judgment before he's doing all this nonsense he's doing.
Okay.
Let the court decide. Then we know where we are going. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. The number is there. The line is 0803 692 9933. You may be a part of this. Are you familiar with the speakership brouhaha in Lagos? Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, sir. I'm calling to commend your efforts on the show, and I usually look forward to every Saturday because it's quite an interesting one. But the reason I am calling is to appreciate you because, in a way, you have changed. Because I most of the time I want to call you, but the fear of how you often shut people of their opinions and get aggressive usually keeps me off. But lately you have improved. I listened last weekend. You were very, very what's the word now? You were quite very lenient on caller, and that's aggressive of you. Please maintain this path.
Okay. Okay, Tojuku would, I know in his heart of hearts, he knows that in politics, which Yorubas call awo, awo is another word for cult.
Benny.
There are rules. There are rules, and you play by the rules. That's why you got elected to represent a constituency in the state. You are there. Play by the rules.
Yeah.
And if you don't play by the rules,
if you were
you fall down Yakata.
If you were number one and number two or number three wants to dip his hands into your eyes, you no go blink. No, you no go blink.
If my superior wants to dip his hand into my eyes, I will blink. You don't have to
No,
be number two or three.
I say,
yeah.
if
So
somebody
anybody
under
wants
you
to dip his hands into my eyes, I will
won't
blink.
you blink?
Everybody will blink.
So, what do you think said that happened for Lagos?
I don't
No,
know.
be
I
somebody is
don't know if
blinking.
it's an issue of blinking.
Oh, it is more than blinking. If somebody, I will change it. If somebody is taking his hand to come and choke into your eyes, me, it won't be beyond blinking. I will even run away. Not just run away, make sure that this guy that is coming with a fork to blink into my eyes is pulled down as possible before it
just a
causes
minute.
katakata.
Good morning.
I have a listener here.
My name is Mary from Okiafe. I agree with Tochuku. One man should not control a whole state. You have done with your own term, and now you're in another place. You want to be controlling. You should hands off from Lagos State. Also, Wike should hands off from River State. Let the sitting governor be able to do what he has in mind. And for Lagos State, one man should not be deciding who will be on the seat and be serving him. I agree with Tochuku 100%. Thank you.
Tochuku and Aki, does anyone between both of you remember or recall the Obasanjo days when the House would not form a quorum and a governor is kicked? Don't you remember?
The governor is removed. The governor is kicked. What does that mean? Governor is removed.
You want me to spell kick? K-I-C-K. Yeah.
When you kick somebody, you are playing with words. And I want to appreciate Mary. I also want to appreciate the previous listener. Let's start with the previous listener, that you have now changed, and so she's now very happy. When people,
I made the point that my attitude before I remember she called about 2 or 3 Saturdays back. I am talking about a door. And then a caller, because he or she wants to exercise his right to free speech, will be talking about a roof.
No. I'm talking about the bed.
Or the bed. So it is incongruous.
When
it is incongruous.
It is normal human nature, and we can't all see things the same way. I believe you have a responsibility to balance, and in trying to balance, you will naturally go against what others wants to hear or say. And takes me,
I don't want to be a broadcaster who wants to say things people want to hear, even if it is not the truth.
And takes me to my dear sister Mary, and who now then said, and if you look at her intervention, the subject is clear. Obasa and what he's doing in Lagos is the subject. My friend Tochuku, rightly, and within his ambit, has decided to pick one aspect of it, which is the Baba Sokwe, and taking it to the national. We are now going to River State and what have you. In that same Lagos State, I have a beef to pick with the leader of the party in the state, and that is Sanwo-Olu. If Sanwo-Olu decided that he was going to behave like Fubara and decides to pitch his tent, which I think he needs to do, again, we begin to dance from right, left. Maybe the House of Assembly will have been burnt by now.
All right.
We must face the subject, which is the fact that Obasa has behaved inappropriately.
Hello, dear listener. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning. I think God bless that lady I called. And I just know that lady. The way you reacted to me last weekend, that was what the lady was saying. Alabala, thanks for me. You understand? So let me quickly say this. You know what is happening in Lagos is embarrassing the president himself. It's embarrassing all the party members themselves. It's also embarrassing every individual in the house. I want to say this. The only people that can wade into this matter is for the GAC member to come again. You know why this matter has not been settled? It's because there is a dividing house in the GAC. The GAC members are not even speaking.
By GAC, you mean Governance Advisory Council?
Yes, they are not even speaking in one voice this time around. Some people are with Obasa. Well, and let me say this: I'm from Lagos State. The shitting these people are doing to we the Indian of Lagos State is so much. If the governor is not from Lagos State, the chief justice is not from Lagos State, the former speaker is not from Lagos State. Three of them are outsiders. What now left for the aborigine of Lagos State? I think they should think twice. 2027 is around the summer. That's my advice to them.
Yeah, so the consensus of opinion is that everything is aligned to 2027 politics.
Yes, that's what it is.
Somehow it's aligned to 2027 politics, and somehow, like the last caller said, and like the other bit of what he said, not necessarily referring to what happened earlier, and that we need to be very, very, very careful. We need to be very, very inclusive, and the whole world is watching. It comes back to my point that Mr. President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria must recognize that a little, well, maybe a big hole has been created, and in his traditional Jagaban style, he needs to plug it. I will refer him, I'm talking of the last speaker, and all our listeners, that something similar to this will have happened, though not at the level of the speakership of the House, at the governance level. You remember Babatunde Raji Fashola allegedly will not have gotten a nod to go for second term.
Yeah. But
Fashola recognized wisely and adroitly the leadership lost by Grant Grimm. There are times to keep quiet. There are times to talk.
And the governor, the president at that time, deferred to superior logic
of the GAC and so many others. He had to bend down. At that time, if he was the one that says no, you are not going to be able to come and all that kind of stuff, he would have just held to his guns, and he would have lost Lagos. Ambode is another example.
All right.
Your radio.
Hello.
Can you take the noise away? Thank you. Let's go.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
So what is happening in the is very, very alarming. I believe that nobody had the monopoly of others in the sense of control and among people say what to happen and others have nothing. This is about so we still have to, because I don't think we still have hope because of how the whole thing is happening now in this time around. People from 2000 and general elections even before then. So the case that is for that any believe that something to get a good come from.
Thank you. Thank you. 60 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well,
Yeah.
we keep ignoring the problem and talking about people's reaction to a problem. Fashola handled this way. Ambode handled it that way.
Discreetly.
Tochuku, there are reference points. There are reference points.
Obasa should have handled it that way. But you're talking about an existing problem.
What is the problem?
The problem is the issue is to do away with the problem and not worry about how people are reacting. The central
what problem are you identifying here?
Is defined by what man controls Lagos, the finance of Lagos, the politics of Lagos, and governors are reduced to something like errand boys who are in perpetual fear of one man. So you're talking about how Fashola handled this one man and his intimidating dominance of Lagos.
Okay.
And how Obasa should have handled it. But the central problem is that Nigeria is a democracy. A state should be bigger than one man. One man cannot continue to twist a state around, reduce a state to a tool of his personal will. That's what the issue is.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
In 2023,
yes,
this one man that has become an octopus that you cannot shift.
Okay.
He lost his constituency in Lagos at the last election to Peter Obi. So what happened? So
that tells you that people don't like him. People fear him, fear his
machinery,
don't want him.
In other words, it's not as invincible as you are trying to put across.
No. The average man is tired of Baba Esobe. But his control, his grip on the state is what they are succumbing to.
He lost the governorship election.
He will tell you he's exercising his right to free opinion.
All right, so he lost. And that is exactly what we are saying.
Yes.
Before prebendal and sectional and stupid politics came into it, he is not impregnable. And the Bola Tinubu that you are talking about, call him a warlord. We also have warlords in other areas. The only difference, and this is the point, the only difference is much more a political wizard that has, one way or the other, been able to hold a grip in Lagos. He lost Lagos at the last election. What says that he cannot lose Lagos again?
Yeah.
So that's the point I'm making. On the Obasa thing, Obasa has done what is a political suicide. Let me put it that way. Anyway, as far as I'm concerned, he's gone. He's gone for good.
All right. Here's a listener. Good morning to you.
Good morning, sir. My name is Adibala.
Yeah, I beg, please, that you are using your bedroom voice. Come to the living room, yeah. Come to the parlor, as they say.
Living room voice.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now, sir?
Uh-huh.
Hello, sir.
Go on.
Yes, sir. My name is Adibala. My opinion on this issue is that I'm just saying it. When you see a man that wants to, he has no more than any other person that wants to be like his master, or he's not taking his time to study what is happening around him, or he wants to go further beyond everybody. It's a game. He wants to go further beyond everybody, and he wants to be like his among everybody, and he wants to look after his master. That I think his master please. I think that I can also do better than that. That's the beginning of downfall of today. But all I see is that if your master handles his plan, quite different from the way you handle your plan. When you need the right time to take your step or move forward. Don't go trying to take step and don't do anything back. If you think the
Thank you. 60 seconds are up. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah. Tochiko, how do you close your thought here?
Oh, well, I'm closing my thought. My thought is that most politicians are corrupt and financially dishonest. So this issue of misappropriation of funds, half-handedness, they apply across board. What got this man in question, in trouble, is not his financial misappropriation, but that he started angling for 2007 in defiance of the interest of those that own the state.
That is in your estimation.
I can only speak for myself. So he has taken, his good is standing up for a fight. He might lose, he might win. It does not matter. The thing is that he's challenged an unjust system, and there's need for more people to challenge this unjust system. The unjust system needs to crumble down to the ground.
Yeah, Aki, how do you close?
I give credence to Madam Liesbeth Mojisola Miranda for taking things in their stride. There is no speaker or there is no leader that will have been subjected to what she's been subjected to since Obasa has been removed, and she has kept her head. She was in court. She still has the confidence of all her constituents to continue as speaker. I believe history is going to be very kind to her. I believe history can also be kind to Obasa if he decides to be a gentleman, and if he continues the way he's going, his political future, even if he joins the opposition now, which I think is the icing of the cake that every other person is looking at. He can decide to go and join the opposition, but people should listen to how this same man listened to the voice of people, majority during Fashola's time, and learn from what happened to Ambody.
All right, thank you.
And
okay,
give peace more than a chance in the center of excellence. God bless Lagos State.
Thank you.
God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Center of excellence. That is not excellent.
Gentlemen, I know that the saying is, if you know that tomato is a fruit, that's knowledge. But if you know that if you are preparing a fruit salad, you won't add a tomato, that is wisdom. Many politicians lack wisdom. That's all I want to end with. But let me thank Aki Fatuke for your time.
God bless you. Thank you very much, and God bless Nigeria.
And Tochukwu Izukama, many thanks for your time too.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you for having me.